the impact that sleep has on your body's ability to burn fat is actually greater than diet and exercise combined. What? So why aren't more people talking about this? Seriously, if you were gonna Google, how do I burn fat? You're gonna get all kinds of crazy shit. You're gonna get you need to drink cayenne pepper in a 74-ounce glass of water in the morning as soon as you wake up, and eat 20 lemons and something crazy. But you're probably not gonna see a whole lot, if anything, on sleep. And welcome to Becoming Natural. This is your host, Victoria Ray. I am a certified transformational nutrition coach and expert in the areas of mental wellness and nutrition. This podcast is to provide you with the tools and knowledge you need so that you can live a healthy and natural life in today's world where everything is just covered in chemicals, or chemicals are inside of it. And yeah, that's not good for us. So I'm going to tell you how to either stay away from that or minimize your exposure. So good freaking morning or afternoon or whatever time it is, wherever you are. I am very, very excited to share this episode with you guys today because I know it is one that you have been waiting for: how to lose weight, how to burn fat. What? How do we burn the fat that we don't want? So I'm actually going to give you 3 very, very, very simple steps to do this. And I'm saying simple here because they're simple. Literally anybody could do them. However, they're not easy. So don't be confused. I'm not saying this is easy, but I am saying it is simple. I'm literally going to tell you exactly what to do. However, it's not easy. You're gonna need a positive outlook and a little bit of self-discipline to do this. I don't really like the phrase self-discipline. I don't know if it's because of the military and they're always just discipline this, discipline that. And not like you're in trouble, but I feel like that word's used a lot. And so when I hear it, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit. But seriously though, you do need a little bit of maybe self-regulation is what I should say instead of self-discipline. Or maybe it makes me think of Karate Kid too. I don't know. I think that's such a strange word. I think it's just overused. So let's say self-regulation. You're going to need a little bit of determination, self-regulation, and desire to do these things. There we go. I like that better. Let's not say self-discipline. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started with the 3 absolutely foolproof ways to lose weight. All right. Number 1, get your nutrition in check. I am not telling you to go on a diet. Here's another word that makes me just cringe. When people say the word diet, I'm just bleh. And I cannot stand when a coach tells somebody, oh, just eat less. Bitch, if that were the answer, wouldn't everybody be skinny? Just eat less? No. The problem with this thinking is that there's a very rigid concept around calories and how calories need to be less calories in than calories out. Well, I'm going to stop this right here and point to the fact that not all calories are created equal. The calories that you're going to get from eating wild-caught salmon are not the same as the calories you're going to get from eating the pink slime sledge chicken nuggets from McDonald's. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you remember that whole controversy about McDonald's getting in trouble because they were using that pink slime shit, just like Mr. Krabs and the Krabby Patties when they were printing them out. That's it. Literally, I don't know if they made that episode after these guys got in trouble. I should look into that. But seriously, that's what they were doing. Honestly, they might still be. I don't know. I don't trust them at all. But your body's not a computer. It's not going to see a calorie as a calorie. That's not how this works. It's going to break everything down on a molecular level. And obviously those two foods could not be more different. So instead of focusing on the amount of calories that you're eating, I want you to shift your mindset to thinking about the nutrients themselves. When you eat nutrient-dense foods, goodness, I cannot talk today. Nutrient-dense foods, and yes, you can eat more of these because you're going to feel fuller sooner and longer. So when you're eating things like grass-fed beef, free-range chicken, pork, if you eat pork that was not raised on corn and soy, like good quality pork, wild-caught fish, these things are going to be higher in good fats. They're going to be good in protein, free-range chicken eggs and vegetables, really nutrient-dense vegetables and fruits as well. You're going to notice a difference than if you were going to sit down and, let's say, eat something from McDonald's. You're not going to feel like you're always eating at some Chinese buffet and getting hungry 30 minutes later. When you're eating nutrient-dense foods, your brain's understanding that you're getting the nutrients. It's looking at the vitamins, it's looking at the minerals, it's looking at the proteins, it's looking at the fats. However, when you eat these other things like a bag of chips, for instance, you can sit down and you can eat an entire bag of chips. One, because the salt and the sugar and the fat content in that makes your brain want to eat more, and it makes it very, very addictive. So it's not your fault when you sit down and eat a bag of chips and you say, I'm going to have like 5, and then you end up eating the whole thing. I do the same thing, which is why I just stay away from chips in general, because I know that I'm going to eat that whole thing. So here I am having some self-regulation by just choosing not to eat those. And like I said, it's not always easy. But there are other options too, like Siete. They make some chips that are not made with refined sugars and refined fats and out of potatoes, which I'm not demonizing potatoes here. Potatoes are actually really, really great sources of nutrients. Not when they're deep fried and canola oil and stuff like that. Obviously, we don't want to eat those. But your brain is going to look at these foods differently. And so is your body. So when you do eat nutrient-dense foods, yes, you can eat more because you're getting more nutrition. You're not putting sugar and fat and all this other crap in your body, and you're going to be full for a longer amount of time. We're not going to have these, cravings constantly because our body is using this clean fuel. Now, when we do change up our nutrition, we're going to see a huge difference in inflammation levels. I know you guys see people walking around with that beer gut or pregnant belly. You know what I'm talking about? It usually happens in more like middle-aged men, but it happens in women too. I've seen it a lot more recently than I used to in women, but it happens. It happens, and it can happen in younger people too. But what it is it's inflammation. So processed sugars, carbohydrates, and actually high uric acid levels are what we have to thank for that inflammation there. So once we start eating foods that lower our inflammation, our waistline's going to follow. And we're really going to lose all that bloating, and our body's going to start burning fat. So a simple question that you can ask yourself before eating something, because remember, we're doing really simple things here. Just ask, is this a nutrient-dense food that my body's going to use as clean fuel? If the answer is no, so like if it's a Cheeto or a Pop-Tart or a Coke or a Wendy's chicken sandwich, the answer is no, then don't eat it. I know you love Cheetos. I know you love Wendy's. Like, I get it, you guys. Like I said, this isn't easy, but it's simple. Like, how simple is that? Is this a nutrient-dense food? No? Okay, cool. I'm not eating it. But trust me, do this and you're going to be absolutely amazed at the changes you're going to see in just a few short weeks. Physical changes, mental changes. You're just going to feel better all around. And you know what? I think I'm going to do an episode on alcohol too, because there's a whole lot behind that, behind the nutrition of that. Because I'm not telling you guys not to drink, because I drink myself sometimes too. There are certain things that I do not drink because I know that they affect me negatively. Like beer. I used to drink a lot of beer, and I really like beer. Like, I do. I think it's really good. However, it raises uric acid levels, and it does cause me to feel really bloated, not just the day that I'm drinking, but actually for several days afterwards. So I have started to stay away from that, and what I drink mostly now is just vodka. Clear vodka, and it doesn't seem to affect me negatively. And I'm not saying like I drink all the time. Obviously, everything in moderation. But yeah, I think I'm going to do an entire episode on that, so we can kind of answer some questions surrounding alcohol and how the sugars in that affect you and affect your fat burning ability. Okay, so that was number 1. We're going to look at our nutrition, make sure we're getting nutrient-dense foods. Number 2, move your booty. Get that cute little butt of yours up. Go do something with it. Go shake it, do squats, literally anything. And not just your butt. Like, move your whole body. So one of the best ways to burn fat, and this may actually surprise you, is walking. Now, I'm not talking about like moseying down the street. You actually have to walk at a decent pace. But seriously, like, how simple is that? All you have to do is go walk. And most of us aren't doing that. Like, we're getting in our cars, we're maybe walking down the stairs in our house in the morning, going to get in our car, driving to work, walking into the office, sitting down. We sit down all day. Maybe we get up a couple times to go to the bathroom or go get coffee. Then we go sit back down. And then we get up, and then we get in our car. Then we sit in our car, and then we drive home. And then we go home. Then we sit down the rest of the evening. Like, we're not walking. And humans are made to walk. Like, our ancestors walked everywhere. They didn't have cars. Like, that's what our bodies are made to do. This is one of the best ways to burn fat, you guys. Super, super, super simple. Literally just go for a 20-minute walk every day. And anybody can do this. Like, your body's going to start burning fat. And you don't have to go crazy and run 10 miles and spend 7 hours in the gym every day. Just get up and do some physical activity. And if let's say you live somewhere that you can't go outside and walk, because walking outside is what's going to be best for you. Maybe you live downtown and you don't feel safe walking down there. Go get a gym membership somewhere. There's gyms that you can join for like $10 a month, and they have like entire cardio rooms, and you can get on a treadmill and you can walk. And if you don't want to walk and you want to sit on a bike and bike, like, that's good too. Or get on the elliptical and do something fun. But just, moving your body, getting up, doing physical activity. And yes, strength training is so very beneficial to your health. I do suggest that you do start lifting weights if you're not doing that. And if you've never done that before, you can start exercising with body weight and then adding in some light weights. And if you don't know what you're doing, like if you've never done this before, there's so many free resources out there on Google and YouTube. Ladies, one of my favorite free workout channels is Chloe Ting on YouTube. They're like 10, 15-minute videos that you can follow along, and they're always super, super fun. And guys, if you want to follow Chloe Ting too and do her workouts, they're freaking awesome. But they are a little bit more targeted towards women because it's more like getting a round butt. And I mean, guys, maybe you want a big round butt too. So whatever. I really like her videos. There's all kinds of people out there that put out these free resources. And if you're wanting something a little bit more than free videos, you can buy a program from a trainer. Or you can go out and get a trainer in person if you're having trouble with accountability. And if you need recommendations for amazing trainers, let me know, because I know some freaking awesome trainers, and they're not going to charge you like your entire life savings to work out with them. So seriously, just adding in some physical activity to your everyday routine, and you can find 20 minutes in your day to exercise. Do not lie to yourself. I don't care if you lie to me. Don't lie to yourself, because that's what you're doing when you're saying, I don't have time to work out. You can find 20 minutes. How long are you sitting there scrolling on your phone on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok now, because that's the thing? You probably spend at least 20 minutes doing that. So you can find 20 minutes. Don't lie to yourself. You're gonna thank yourself later on down the road, because your joints are gonna feel better. You're gonna sleep better, and you yourself will be better. Like, as a person, you're just gonna like be better if you exercise a little bit. So walking, weight training, if you're gonna add that in, I highly suggest that you add in some resistance training to your exercise regimen. But just starting out with walking, like, that's gonna make a huge difference. And you're gonna burn your fat, which is what we all want, right? That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this. Okay, so here's a big one that is really, really overlooked, but this is absolutely essential to weight loss. Okay, you ready? Number 3, sleep. That's it. You have got to prioritize your sleep. The impact that sleep has on your body's ability to burn fat is actually greater than diet and exercise combined. What? So why aren't more people talking about this? Like, seriously, if you were gonna Google, like, how do I burn fat? You're gonna get all kinds of crazy shit. You're gonna get like, you need to drink cayenne pepper in a 74-ounce glass of water in the morning as soon as you wake up, and like eat 20 lemons and like something crazy. But you're probably not gonna see a whole lot, if anything, on sleep. Oh my God, he worked so many hours and he only slept a little bit, then he went back to work. Like, he's so successful, he's such a good worker. Like, wow, this dude's really going places. And even doctors, like, when they do their residencies, they don't sleep. They work insanely long hours, and they're looked down on as lazy or unmotivated if they don't take these crazy shifts. And it's like, we really, really just idolize this overworking and no sleep lifestyle. And it's quite literally killing us. We need to sleep. We need to sleep because our brains need to process information throughout the day. We also need it to burn fat, because we burn the most fat when we are asleep. You're actually exhaling fat in your sleep, which is awesome. So when we're not letting our body do that, that fat's not going anywhere, you guys. You can exercise all you want. You can be that guy that spends 7 hours in the gym. You can be eating nothing but chicken and rice, which I don't suggest doing. You need variation in your diet. And who the fuck wants to eat chicken and rice every day anyways? Like, I would be so bored. I love food. I love to eat different stuff all the time. If I have to eat the same thing like 2-3 days in a row, I will absolutely go crazy. So I don't do that. And maybe you like eating the same thing every day, and if you do, like, good for you. I can't do that. But we have to sleep. We have to sleep to burn fat. It's just not gonna work if we don't. So we've already got this really bad relationship with sleep, and most of us can't sleep. we're all drugged up on Ambien and all kinds of other sleeping drugs because we have this problem falling asleep, or we have this problem staying asleep. And we also have this problem of we're all overweight. So here's a couple things that we can do to naturally combat our sleep problem. First thing is get at least 20 minutes of direct sunlight in the morning. Take off your damn sunglasses and be in the sun. Like, just be in it. Let that light go in your eyeballs. If you work in a windowless office, because, a lot of us do, go take a break outside. Take a little bitty walk. Take a walk around the block or in your parking lot or whatever, and just get some of that sun. And, you don't have to do it all at once. Maybe you can only take like a 5-10 minute break. Okay, take a few of those and make sure you're getting that sunlight. The sunlight's going to increase your cortisol production, and it's going to help regulate your internal clock, signaling to your body that it's daytime and you need to be awake right now. So you're not going to feel as tired because you're going to get that sunlight. You're going to feel better. It's very important that you are getting sun exposure. The next thing I want you to make sure you're doing is going right back to step number 2 and moving. You have to do some sort of physical activity during the day. It's going to immediately give you energy, which is why I like to do my workouts in the morning, because it helps me get energized for the day. If I do them in the evening and then I try to go to bed, I have a little bit of a harder time falling asleep because I'm still like, from the gym. And I don't take pre-workout, especially not if I'm going to be working out in the evening, because then that caffeine is going to be a huge problem for me. So make sure you're exercising in the day. If you want to work out in the evening, if that works great for you, then heck yeah, because everybody's different. So just find out what's best for you, where it best fits into your routine, and when it's going to give you the most energy, or if it's going to make you tired and then you can fall asleep right after. Like, heck yeah, do that. Third thing, turn off your blue light. Don't be on your phone before bed. Don't watch the TV. Don't be on the computer. None of that. And it's not because I'm like, oh, you're going to ruin your eyes. Remember what I just said about cortisol? So the blue light from your electronics is going to signal to your brain that it's day, and it's going to cause you to produce more cortisol, hence waking you up, and now you can't sleep. So get yourself a nice little bedtime routine down. What I do personally before I go to bed is I always like to take a hot bath. And if I'm somewhere where I don't have a bathtub, I like to take a hot shower. And then I like to make hot tea and read a book until I start to get sleepy. And it really doesn't take me long at all. Honestly, usually by the time I'm done drinking my tea, I'm already kind of falling asleep. You can also try taking a melatonin 2 to 3 hours before your bedtime, if you've done all these things and you're still struggling a bit. And again, if you decide to take a supplement, like I always tell you, please check the ingredient list. Make sure there's nothing in there you don't want in your body, like vegetable oils, because they put a lot of that in supplements, fillers, and all kinds of other things. Another thing that I want you guys to do if you're struggling with sleep is look at your caffeine intake. So the recommended dosage of caffeine to not be exceeded every day, it is a little different for men and women. For women, it's about 200 milligrams. For men, it's 300 milligrams. If you're going to drink a Bang, which you guys know how I feel about those have 300 milligrams of caffeine in them. So ladies, I really suggest staying away from those. One, because of all the other stuff in it that's absolutely terrible for you. But two, you are exceeding your recommended caffeine intake. And that can be really bad on your body, really hard on you. And caffeine has a half-life of 8 hours. So what this means is, let's say I drink that Bang in the morning at, I don't know, maybe I'm drinking it at 10 a.m. 8 hours from then, because it's 300 milligrams of caffeine, I will have 150 milligrams of caffeine still left in my body. 8 hours later. Okay, 8 hours later from then, I will have half of that. What is that, 75? 75 milligrams? I don't know. I'm not math genius here. So you're still going to have a lot of caffeine in your body. And we know that caffeine is a stimulant. It keeps us awake. So this is something that we really need to be cognizant of if we are struggling with sleep and if caffeine does affect us. And caffeine affects everybody differently. Some people can drink tons of caffeine and it doesn't affect them at all. Other people are very, very sensitive to it. So this is something that you're just going to have to look at for you and what your tolerance is to caffeine. But do keep in mind that the half-life of caffeine is 8 hours. 8 hours from when you drink it, you will have half the amount still left in your body. So if you're trying to go to sleep, I don't suggest drinking caffeine, honestly, probably past 2 p.m. in the afternoon. And I'm not talking about a bang because that's, again, 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot. That's a lot. Some people drink like 2 of those a day. I've seen it, and it's absolutely crazy. So let's just review here our foolproof plan on how you're going to burn fat. You're going to stop eating shit. You're going to go the fuck outside, and you're going to make sure you're sleeping. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. Foolproof. Don't eat Cheetos. Make sure you go outside and get your exercise. You're going to move your body and you're going to go to bed at night. And you're actually going to sleep and you're going to get good sleep. So if you're seriously struggling with your sleep, please check out Sleep Smarter by Shawn Stevenson. It's available in a actual hard copy physical book or an audiobook format. It's absolutely amazing and it has changed so many people's lives by helping them get their sleep under control. And not only are you going to feel rested, you're going to burn more fat when you're sleeping, you guys. And that is the goal here. I'll actually link that book in the show notes. I'll probably put the Audible version in there. That way, like when you're driving or whatever, you can listen to it. But it's going to make a huge difference if you're struggling with sleep. And it's an amazing book. Shawn is so smart. He is like... I highly suggest you check it out. Even if you sleep fine, I suggest you check it out anyways because it is an absolutely amazing book. These steps are simple, you guys. So simple. Again, they're going to take some work, some determination, but you guys are smart. You guys are determined, and I know that you can set out anything that you can do anything that you set out to do because, you guys are freaking awesome. So don't forget to check out my handmade all-natural personal care products. They're now available on my website. And like I said, since you guys are freaking awesome, I want to give you 10% off of your order. Not just your first order, but every time that you order. Just go to victoriaraycoaching.com/shop and enter the discount code Becoming Natural. One word at checkout. And everything on there is made using only the highest quality ingredients. Nothing nasty in there, nothing toxic, everything is natural. Also, if you like the music for this podcast, which you freaking should because it's amazing, go check out Gut the Goldfish on YouTube. He has a new music video out and it's totally worth your time watching. It's amazing. And I'm going to add that video in the show notes too, or that link. Now you guys have homework, book, music video. There's going to be a quiz now, so just kidding. There's not going to be a quiz. But seriously, go check it out. Go check out both of those things. You will thank yourself later. And as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I really, really do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful people. So until next time, my friends, go out there and have yourself a great freaking day.